last week we had Sri Ram Navami festival, and also yesterday was Hanuman Jayanti, appearance of Hanumanji. And also as after Krishna Janmashtami, there is a Radhashtami. So Sita Navami also comes. No, yesterday was Purnima, full month. So the next Navami will be Sita Devi's appearance day. So Lakshmana was a younger brother. So we don't have his exactly birthday on our Vaishnava calendar yet. But somewhere we'll follow. Or actually they are immediately very close by, but we don't know still exactly which day. So they are all 4 appearance day close to each other. So today, taking that opportunity, Hanuman Jayanti yesterday, Ram Navami few days back, and Sita Navami few days afterwards, we'll discuss about them. And also there is that famous, like we have in Radha Rajwari temple, Ram Darbar, Ram Lakshman Sita, Hanumanji. So that describing this Ram Darbar, there is one very famous slok. Most of us might have at least heard it if we don't know. So without a board we can follow. And then we'll discuss about each personality, about Lakshman, about Ram, about Sita, and also Hanuman, little bit. They will be taking many lessons from Ramayan. Ramayan is very attractive because it is beautiful, teachings are there. But we'll take one common theme and also some other themes also. But common theme from all these passages. That common theme will be how to respond right when the world treats us wrong. Many times in this world we feel we are treated wrongly. Many times we are treated wrongly. Because most of the times we feel that the world is treating me wrongly. Actually world is not. But either way, the effect is that we feel the world is treating me wrongly. So how to respond right? Or rightly we can say. So that will be the common theme by studying the personalities of Ram, Lakshman, Sita, Hanuman, and also some other themes. One maybe if I forget, I am just telling the themes. That another theme will be Maya generally enter through eyes. We see advertisements, everything in the eye, because I travel a bit or a lot, whatever it may be. Generally in the trains, the hawkers, they come and they have these children's games. They especially take to the children and do like this in front of them. Sometimes the hawkers come with some ladies items, or even like other items like keychain and torch. They have big hanging things, and they'll come and directly put it in front of your eyes. So generally Maya enters through eyes, but Krishna enters through ears. So there are a few more themes like that, but the main common theme will be how to respond right even when the whole world treats us wrong. So I think I'll say the verse, and it's very easy. Even if you don't know, we can respond it. So let's begin. Dakshine lakshmano yasya vame tu janakatmaja Purato Marutiriyasya Tamavande Raghunandanam Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya Vame tu Janakatmaja Purato Marutiriyasya Tamavande Raghunandanam Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya Vame tu Janakatmaja Purato Marutiriyasya Tamavande Raghunandanam. So before going ahead, as all of us know, and we have heard this point many times in this assembly hall over here, that how in many years back, Ramayana and Mahabharata serials were very attractive. And even today, there are many countries which are officially not Hindus or like that. But the Ramayana and Mahabharata stories are very famous even in those countries. So actually, what's happening in present day situation, people are very disturbed for one reason, which has been analyzed. Actually, before we go ahead, I would like to give the credit of all we talked today to His Grace. Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. I am taking most of the points from his talks which he gave around 7 or 8 years back in Nashik. So he says generally in modern society people are highly disturbed because they don't have one basic requirement. As we say, roti, kapda, makan. So actually we don't have roti also and kapda also, but makan specifically. All of us sitting here also, we have our homes. Some of us have maybe 1 BHK, some of maybe bigger, some may be having something, different types of owned, rented, or given by the employee or something. But we see employer. So, but everyone has home, some shelter. But we don't have mental home. What does it mean? It means like home. What is home? You go for job, then you go back to the home for shelter. Then you go for picnic, you go for school, you go for those who don't stay in the temple, you go to temple, you go anywhere, but you fall back. You have the shelter of your home. You go back and take shelter there. So today's age, people don't have any mental homes for their mind to take shelter of. And therefore mind is always agitated. It's always traveling. Actually this Ramayan, Mahabharata were the mental homes for people for hundreds of generations, at least in Indian subcontinent. What does it mean? It means anywhere the mind goes, it may be going here on their job, business, profession, or even some mundane attractions, it falls back. Its shelter is automatically goes back to Ramayan, Mahabharata, and therefore we see this mental home was decorated in hundreds of possible options, like music, like evening kathas, like dramas, like art, and like dances, like Kathakali and Odissi, everything. Everything was Ramayan, Mahabharata, Dashavatar, the stories, and we have some singers, some bards, and everyone, they would fall back because their home was some Ramayana, Mahabharata, and also Bhagavatam Kathas, but specifically more of Ramayana and Mahabharata. Therefore, today's age people, they don't have that home. Today's age, if we tell them about Ramayana, like if we take some small boys, especially in our all childhood, our grandmother would tell us stories from Ramayana and Mahabharata. Those who have heard it were fortunate. Unfortunate people, maybe you or maybe today's generations don't hear it. And today's generation is also a bit different, because if you try to tell them, or even grown-up people today, they feel, oh, it's boring. What to hear same Ramayana again? It's boring. Mind is not interested. Why? Also, sometimes you may feel, what is this Ram Katha? Every speaker coming and telling the same story, Vibhishan Sharanagati, we had drama, or something, Ram Sita Haran, and no. We feel boring because we are not taking shelter of it. Just like every day you go home, but you feel boring. Oh, same home, I have to go. Same room, same color, same fan. I don't think anytime we feel boring to go to our home. It's just highly unlikely. Therefore, because we are taken shelter of the home, we go and feel sheltered. So what happens when we see or hear or Ramayana and Mahabharata in enjoying mood, we don't feel shelter. What does it mean, enjoying mood? Like today's age people, they see all their TV serials, pictures and everything in enjoying mood. What exactly does it mean? Yes, one way is they are enjoying, they want to see for enjoyment. But more subtly, if we see, when we see a movie or a picture, or say movie, what do we identify with? We identify with the hero or heroine, either way, the enjoyer basically. If hero is getting bitten or he has some awkward situation, then we feel bad. And if hero is winning or if he is with heroine and enjoying, then people may whistle or clap or be happy. Actually, it's all illusory word. There is nothing real happening. Actually, we see therefore one common point. When we see movies, everything is illusion and what you call in Sanskrit or Hindi, Bhram. Nothing real. So always one common thing is when people go for movies, they carry something to eat or they buy it. Because everything is illusory, something should be real enjoyment. Everything is only some lights playing, nothing, no hero. They don't understand, but they need something to eat so that they can watch the movie. Anyway, the common point is we identify ourselves with hero, and if hero is things are good happening to him, we feel good. If things are happening bad to him, we feel bad. We don't identify with some ordinary person in the movie who might have a bigger role, like a servant in the home of a movie, in the home of a hero or even villain. He also has quite good amount of exposure in the movie, but we don't identify with him. If a master in the movie says, "Hey, servant, you nonsense, you do not think," or if he glorifies also, "Oh, thank you for doing some good thing," you feel, "Oh, he's glorifying the servant, how nice." We don't identify. Therefore, we are in the enjoying mood. And when we see even see here either way, Ramayana and Mahabharata in a similar way, we people do that. They slip one button, they drop and they see the movie. Another button, they see the sports. Same, if we see the sports, we are in enjoying mood. We identify with the enjoyer. If bowler is the powerful person, we identify with him. If batsman is the powerful person, we identify with him. Or it may be our country, another country, whatever it may be. So we just flip the channel or press the buttons. We see Ramayan, we see cricket, we see movie, again Ramayan. What happens, although Ramayan comes in, our mood doesn't change with the buttons. And we feel we are doing religious activity, but we are doing it in the mood of, not in a religious, sheltering way. We are not taking shelter of Ramayan. What happens, we see it in the same enjoying mood. And therefore, just like whatever famous movie, however it may be, it becomes boring. Because we are in the enjoyer mood. Like suppose you are going for a movie which has come new and it's very hit. And a friend says, "Oh, it was very wonderful, I saw it. Shall I tell you the story?" I say, "No, don't tell, otherwise the fun will go away." So when we are in the enjoying mood, it becomes boring repetitively. But when previously people would hear Ramayan or Mahabharata or basically this scriptural stories, they would identify themselves with servants, devotees, Hanumanji. And when service was done to the Lord Sri Ram or to Shri Krishna, like Pandavas and like that, then they will feel very happy. And that satisfaction, because it is the natural of the soul, Jivere Swarup hoy, because it is natural, Krishna Nitya Das, our identification of the servant, it will not make us boring. So therefore we see this Ramayana and Mahabharata won't become boring if we change our mood of hearing or seeing it. If we keep the same mood of enjoyer, just like every channel we see in enjoyer mood. So if we keep the same mood and just shift the channel of our TV, it is the same, and we say, okay, after some time we'll shift it up again to next. So basically, we'll come to our today's point. How to respond, right, when the world treats us or life treats us wrong. I don't think anyone over here is there who never felt that I am being wrongly treated. Is there anyone whose life anything wrong never happened to him? Like for example, even if something is stolen from our home or pocket, or even if we lose something, or if someone comes and insults us for something which we might have done or we might not have done, either way. Or even if we might have done something and someone comes and insult very strongly, little more than required, someone speaks bad, we get less marks in exam than what we have studied or written or something, so many things. Somebody just cracks our password and hacks our mail ID, and so many things can happen. So therefore we see life treats us wrongly in so many ways, or at least we feel that way. That life is treating me, the whole world is treating me wrongly. Sometimes something may happen and you may go home. It very rarely happens, but maybe some misunderstanding is there, and your wife and parents and children all are angry on you. Thinking, why do you like that, which you might have or you might not have. And they will say there is some disagreements and so many things. So basically all of us, maximum actually we face such situations. If we say maximum, we face such situations that we feel the world is treating us wrongly. And this is a very good lesson from Ramayana. We see the same things happening in life of Sri Ram, Sita Maiya, Lakshman, and also Hanumanji to some extent. So therefore we see, first we will begin with Sri Ramchandraji. And you all know, the most of the stories which we will be discussing, you might know, but we can see this in this angle. So we know Lord Ram, he was the eldest of the four. Ram and Lakshman were always together. And Bharat and Shatrugna were always together. Although Ram was from Kausalya and Bharat was from Kaikai and Lakshman and Shatrughna were from Sumitra. So they were brothers, but they were both with. Actually, it's difficult to understand today, but all these 4 sons respected all the 3 mothers equally. And all the 3 mothers also loved all the 4 sons equally. Sometimes we see this in big joint families. Like we have one student staying in our base. And his 7, means his father and 6 brothers, they stay together. And all of them total, they have been 7, 6, father and 6 uncles. And totally there are 24 children. I was discussing, out of that 21 are already married. Only 3 are remaining. He and one of his sister and another uncle. But still they stay together. I don't know how big. In that family, sometimes something like that can happen. But today, because we have all these nuclear families, not united, it's very difficult to do something like that. But still, there we see all the mothers, they loved their children, all the 3 children, 4 children and 3 mothers. But still, as we know, when Dashrath Maharaj, he decided, it's time for me. I should take retirement, go to Vanvas, perform tapasya, as that is the goal of every human's life. So actually it's very interesting how he decided that. Because once he was putting up a throne, before he goes to palace, before going to palace, he has become ready and he was putting up a throne on his head. And he noticed one white hair. What today's corporate man or any one of most of us might have done, just died. So they died, and then they died till they die actually. They keep dying till they die. But Dashrath Maharaj saw one white hair. And he said, time is up. It's indicating my old age is coming. I should retire, hand over the kingdom to next generation. And I should retire. So he put up the throne, and if someone has white hairs here, they can also think that way. But in Kali Yuga, sometimes there are white hairs from the age of 20 itself. So not that way, but still. So he put up the throne and he went to his family guru, Vasishtha Muni. And he says, no, I want to retire. And he was very happy. And he said, I want to make Lord Ram the prince and actually the king also. Rajyabhishek was there. That means Ram was not only prince regent, he would become the king. So they were very happy, not because they loved Ram more and they loved Dashrath less. They loved Dashrath Maharaj also equally, but they are very happy that he has taken a right decision in life. The right time has come for the changeover. And actually such changeover doesn't happen, then they happen in a very bad way. Like we see in politics or even in some big families, like rich bureaucratic or business families. If that doesn't happen, then the children have to fight with each other and they have to fight. Like we see even in Indian history, some kings, they would fight with their father or fight with the brothers to become king. So this changeover should happen naturally. A father, when he is 50 plus, he should say, no, I hand over to my child, you take care. And therefore, we see Dashrath Maharaj took that decision and it was fixed that Ram will be the king, and the whole celebrations began. Ayodhya was joyful, everyone was happy. Even Kaikai was very happy. She was also celebrating. Not that, but then her mind was poisoned by Manthara. Manthara came, she was that hunchback lady servant. So she came and she said, oh Kaikai, have you heard? She said, yes, what? You are telling something new? Have you heard that Lord Ram is going to be the king tomorrow? She said, oh, I already heard, but thank you for giving me this good news again. Take one more necklace. Then she just threw the necklace on the ground and all the pearls were apart. And she said, what happened? It's such a wonderful news. And then Kaikai, we know, most of us in India, they know the stories. And then Kaikai poisoned the mind of, Manthara poisoned the mind of Kaikai. And then the whole story goes, she went to her sulking chamber and Dashrath was called. And then she told that, you know, in the past you had given me these 2 boons and I want to ask for them. He said, then Dashrath already seeing Kaikeyi not in the proper mood, he was little apprehensive. So she said, by one boon, I want Ram to be banished to the forest. That itself was a big shock for Dashrath Maharaj. And he said, another, or either way, with the first boon, I want Bharat to be the made king tomorrow itself. And she was not, okay, we'll make after. She said, with all the preparations of Rajyabhishek, I want the same preparations to make Bharat king tomorrow morning, no delay. Like, okay, we'll make Bharat after 1 month, we'll see for a suitable time again. No, tomorrow morning, same preparations. And before that, before 24 hours, means by today evening, Ram should go to the forest, Vanvas, for 14 years. So both conditions were, and at that time, we know if one man has given words, they would follow. So Dashrath knew there is no other escape for me because I have given the boons, they are like open-ended words. Whatever you speak, two things will become truth from my side. So he knew there is no other escape out. So it was decided, and Dashrath Maharaj was in the kingdom, in the palace of Kaikeyi, and he also crying. No, crying in the sense, crying out of sadness, but he had no courage to, rather than courage, he has no heart to call and tell Sri Ram the whole truth. But Kaikeyi did that. Kaikeyi told the minister that go and tell Sri Ram that Dashrath Maharaj, his father, is calling him. Actually, maybe because of the social customs, ideally, Dashrath Maharaj should gone to the palace of Ram and taken him to the ceremonies of Rajyabhishek. But instead of that, Ram was called, and it was a bit unusual. But anyway, Sri Ram came, and he saw his father lying on the ground, unconscious, hair disheveled, crying, everything in disarrayed situation, and he couldn't understand. And by that time, Kaikeyi was no in a proper way, because her wishes were fulfilled directly or indirectly, either way, means they will be fulfilled in due course of time. So Ram came and saw Dashrath Maharaj in such a condition, and he asked, what happened to my father? Why he is not speaking? And Dashrath Maharaj was just saying, Ram, Ram, Ram. He was just taking the name of Lord Ram, and in a very sad situation. And he was saying, Ram, 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 Ram. And Kaikeyi said that, actually your father is afraid to tell you, but he has given me 2 boons. And by that boons, he said, your father wants, means she wanted, but your father wants that Bharat will be made the king tomorrow. And you will have to go to the forest for 14 years. It's a big, it's not because of attachment for anything. Just like tomorrow, you have got a lottery ticket of 30 crores or something. And no, tomorrow you understood, tomorrow you'll go to the office and get it encashed, give the ticket and get your prize. And you are on your way to the office. Somehow or other, although you have taken all the care, the ticket is lost. Somebody took it, or you misplaced it, or it fell down. Whatever happened? It's like a big shock that, 30 crore lottery ticket, it's gone or everything. Or you get a, suppose tomorrow you are going to get some big power, or sometimes we see somebody wins the election and he is going to be some minister or chief minister or something. And before that he gets some sickness or disease and he dies. It's something like that. The whole opportunity of the whole king of Ayodhya is basically like king of the whole earth, because that was the main king of the whole earth, was Lord Ram. He was going to become. And only less than 24 hours, because today morning the festivals began and tomorrow morning they are going to be executed. It was less than few hours just remaining, and then whole thing has to be cancelled. Actually not cancelled, it will be happening instead of Ram. That is more painful. If things are cancelled, it's okay, but instead of Ram, Bharat will be there. But when Lord Ram heard that, not even he was even a bit agitated, what to speak of face. We see the face is the index of mind. So yes, he could have done a show that my face is okay, yes, smile. Sometimes we do that, maybe in offices. If your boss says, you have not done this right, wrong, we say, in the heart we are feeling bad, I work so hard, you nonsense boss. But yes sir, something we say. But the Lord Ram, actually, certainly, there will not be any expression, bad expression on the face, because he has no bad feelings in the mind. There's not even a single iota or a shade or anything of any bad feeling that, oh, it's just like any normal other incidents happening. Okay, very wonderful. If I am not going to become the king tomorrow, Bharat will begin. And I have to go to the forest. No problem. But he told Mother Kaikai, I have one thing for which to feel sad of. Not that because I am not going to become king or I am to go to the forest for 14 years. He said, I feel bad because you being my mother, I feel bad that I was not worthy of your trust. That this thing you should have told me directly as a mother. Oh my dear son, you go to the forest and Bharat will be the king, and I would have accepted it. Just like mother tells something to the son. You should have called me. Why you have to go to the boon and Dasharatha Maharaj and this circumstantial way, indirect way. That you thought that I won't listen to you, or you thought that we don't have such good relationships, or you thought I will revolt or something. Like now it's like I have no other way out because Dasharatha Maharaj's words has to be true. Why you have to take, means it's not your mistake also. He says it's my mistake that I was not worthy of faith for you, trust for you. So but Ram said that is only bad I feel. That I could not make you have so much faith on me by my behavior. He did not put that blame on her also. He said by my behavior, by my personality, I could not develop that faith in you, O my mother Kaikai, that you could have directly called me and told, I don't want this to happen. I want Bharat to become king and you should go to the forest, and I would have accepted it out of joy and everything. Means as I accepted, no. But no, you thought Ram won't listen to me. Ram will fight against me and you have to take up this indirect way to inform me. I feel bad of that I have not behaved properly to develop your faith. So even after hearing that, Kaikai's heart did not change. So we see, actually, now we'll come to ourselves. Many times bad or wrong things happen in our life. We feel we are mistreated. Most of the cases we are not mistreated, but we feel like that. And even if many cases if we are mistreated, suppose we are fired from job or we make a big loss in business, what it may be, we are mistreated. Actually what is happening, it's never wrong. Although it may be against us, we are never wrong. Because those who know some basic philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, laws of karma, we all know somewhere we have done some karma because of which we are getting the things back. So for us, actually there is no justification of wrong. It's our own reactions coming to us. But for Lord Ram, it's not the case. It's not the case. It's not that Lord Ram had done some similar thing in the past to someone else, taken or snatched away his kingdom, and therefore he is getting the reaction. Like when things happen like that to us, although they may hurt us, we may feel bad in our mind or painful to ego, but the fact is, they are the reactions coming to us. It's our karmic reactions. Although it may appear to be wrong at present. But for Lord Ram, it's not wrong. It's not a karmic reaction. It's just happening that way. So therefore, actually, it's more reason for Lord Ram to be saying that wrong is happening with my life. For us, actually, it's not a reason. Because nothing wrong is happening. We are only getting the reactions of our actions. But Lord Ram is not like that. He has no actions done like that. So actually, in our life, it is not unfair. We feel the world is unfair with me. I was unfairly treated. But actually, it is not unfair for us. We are getting a fairly justified and equal reaction, which we feel bad. But Lord Ram is not getting a unfair, is getting a reaction. It's actually a mistreatment for him. And he could have demanded, no, it's unfair for me, I was supposed to be king. Absolutely no disturbance. He was very peaceful. And what he did more, instead of getting disturbed and agitated, by this incident, many others were disturbed. especially Dashrath Maharaj was, we know, he was lying there. He tried to console all of them, tried to make them convinced or make them peaceful and sober. So he went to Kausalya. After this, from the palace of Kaikeyi, he went to Kausalya to inform everything. And suddenly he told Sita that you should stay home, not come with me. And Kausalya was a bit agitated. She said, what should I do now? I cannot come to the forest with you and I cannot stay without you. I don't know, after you go, how will Kaikeyi treat me? And seeing all this, Kausalya's pain, Lakshmana was like, Lakshmana, it appears that he is a bit angry person in Ramayana. When Bharat came for calling Ram back, Chitrakud, when Lakshmana was on the tree and he saw, he said, it seems that Bharat is coming. Right now I will go down and with my bow and arrow I will kill everyone. Ram said, no. Just wait, find out for what is coming. So it appears that actually it's not his anger. I will come to that point. But it appears that Lakshmana is a bit angry personality. But before we go to Lakshmana's personality, we will discuss about Ram more. So we see, when this was happening, Kausalya, Lakshmana was a bit angry. He said, Lord Ram, I will see and I will make you the king tomorrow. And if anyone comes in between, I will send him to the palace of Yamraj. Even if that old king comes in between, so he's calling his own father, that old king. If that old king comes in between, I will kill him. Then Ram has to pacify that, and he says, this is not the way. How can you call your father old king? But Lakshmana's anger needs to be pacified in a more stronger way. Lord Ram said, if you have decided that and you are going to kill the king tomorrow, then your arrows must first pass through me and then they should reach Dashrath Maharaj. You should first kill me, then only you can kill Dashrath Maharaj. So hearing this, Lakshmana becomes a little bit pacified. He understands what he has spoken. Anyway, he tells Kausalya, Lord Ram tells Kausalya, you should not think of such things. In fact, you should go and try to console or be with your husband. Because he needs you the most. And if you speak ill of him, then from where he will get the support? Oh Kausalya, this is the time for you to be with Dashrath Maharaj and try to give him, because he himself is devastated by this turn of events. So here we see Lord Ram, he was not at all devastated, disturbed, agitated, or even little bit disturbed. He himself was completely 100% as peaceful. And more than that, he was trying to help others, make good of others who were devastated by this incident. So we see that's Lakshmana. So when Lakshmana would get angry, sometimes like this, it was not his anger. It was actually love for Lord Ram. It's just like if you love someone and someone hurts him or speaks ill of him, then suddenly we will get angry. Otherwise, what is the meaning of that love? So that doesn't mean for like most of us sitting over here, we get angry out of Rajogun, mode of passion. So we cannot say, oh, or we cannot justify our anger. I am getting angry because of out of love. Anger is not the only way to express love. There are many other ways also. Sometimes we get angry and we justify, I am getting angry because I love him and therefore like, no. We have to express our love for someone in a much better ways, hundreds of ways before we can get angry out of love. So Lakshmana, that was Lakshmana's anger. He would like sometimes behave that way. So therefore, what did Lakshmana told? He said, I will be always by the side of Lord Ram. Since childhood he was always. And therefore when Lord Ram was called by Vishwamitra Muni, actually when Vishwamitra Muni came, he only asked Ram from Dashrath Maharaj that he should come to forest with me because these demons, Subahu and others are disturbing our yajna. Let Lord Ram come and kill them. But then Lakshmana went along. He said, Lakshman told that if Ram decides and he enters fire, then you should understand, you should not even discuss whether Lakshman should enter or not enter, what he should do, or whether he has entered or not entered. You understand, if Lord Ram enters fire, I have already entered before you even discuss or decide. And that was Lakshman's dedication. So he said, there is no question of me not going to the forest, Vanvas. So anyway, he went. So when he would get angry sometimes, that was his expression of love. Not that he would get angry out of our Rajogun. That was his service mood. What was his service mood? Lakshman's service mood. For forest he went for 14 years. He actually served Lord Ram 24/7 by 14. Actually it was not by 14, by whole life. But especially in Vanvas. He never slept. It is said he never slept for even 1 second. Whole day he would serve in various ways. In the night he would serve, Ram and Sita would take a rest and Lakshman would remain as a guard whole night. It is said that Lakshman even did not close his lid, even to sleep, even to nap, or even by mistake sleep. Like in the road they are written one like this on highways they write, ek jhapki, ek abghat. So even Lakshman did not have one jhapki like that by mistake. Actually that jhapki happens to Brahmaji also. It's an odd story. It's called the Naimittik Pralay. You know there are pralayas of various types. One pralay happens at the end of Brahma's life. One pralay happens at the end of Brahma's day. And another third pralay that happens occasionally. It happens when Brahmaji is working and he also feels jhapki. And when he feels jhapki, the whole pralay happens. You may ask how it happens. It happens. Those of you who are college students, they know sometimes when we are writing notes in the lecture and we feel jhapki, then pralay happens in the notebook. Some Chinese, Singaporean language is written. And when you get up, what's our notes? We don't understand. It's a whole, or if someone is doing some accounting and he goes into jhapki mode, then whole accounting, he has to get up and what happened, where is, everything is, he has to begin again. Similarly, Brahmaji. So, Brahmaji also sometimes feels jhapki. But Lakshman, it said, for 14 years, not even eyelids closing for more than what they close, like our eyelids close and open. More than that, his eyelids never closed. That was service and that was love. So sometimes he would get angry out of love for Ram and Sita. So actually sometimes he would pacify also. When Lord Ram, we'll discuss some stories here and there because we are discussing the teachings from the story. So when Sita was kidnapped and Ram and Lakshman were not able to locate her and they were a bit depressed or agitated also. At that time Ram became angry. And he said, if I don't find Sita, I will take my arrows and destroy the whole world, every living entity within the world, every man, animal, rakshas, all the species, whole earth. Ram was so angry. At that time, Lakshman has to remind him. He was not angry. Sometimes when Ram would get, we'll discuss that also in the future, but when Ram would get little angry, Lakshman would get double angry. He would say, oh, like for example, we'll discuss the story when Ram told, go and remind Sugriv. Lakshman said, why to remind? I will go and kill him. So sometimes Lakshman would do like that. But then Ram has to pacify him. But here when Ram was angry, I will destroy the whole world because Sita is not to be found. Then Lakshman had to pacify Ram. Lakshman told Ram, oh my brother, such anger is not suitable for personalities like you. It doesn't befit you. You are a Sri Ram, Marada Purushottam. Such anger doesn't befit you. Whole world is not the cause of your separation from Sita. Only it's the fault of one Rakshas, Ravan. So we should find that Rakshas and kill him. Lakshman says, this is like the statement, men of your caliber, O Lord Ram, never give way to uncontrolled anger against those who are not to be blamed. Sometimes we see, we have some problems in the office and we come home and direct our anger to the family people. Or sometimes we have problem in the family and we go to the office and direct our anger over there with our colleagues. Not understanding some colleague comes, hey, this job, and hey, you nonsense, get away, I told you yesterday. And he says, what happened? I don't know, but then anger is coming from the home, or sometimes it goes vice versa. But here, Lakshmana is telling, oh Lord, people of your caliber doesn't behave that way. They don't get angry on someone against whom they are not done anything wrong, who are not to be blamed. So sometimes it happens, not sometimes, in our life it happens many times. But then here, Lakshmana is pacifying Lord Ram, that don't get angry. We should not destroy the whole world. We should rather find out Lakshmana and destroy him. But sometimes, as I said, Lakshmana also gets double angry. So why Lord Ram got angry? Again, it was out of love for Sita. So one instance when happens was, now we'll come to the point of how Lakshmana responded right, not this pastime, next pastime, when the world treats him wrongly. We'll come, that will be the next pastime, but before that, some anger pastime of Lakshmana. So when Lakshmana and Ram went to Kishkinda, present day, Hampi, many of us went there, or many of us have been gone in various groups. The place is still there, where Ram and Lakshmana met Sugriv, Hanumanji and everyone. At that time, Sugriv, Lord Ram killed Vali and Sugriv was made the king. It was decided that because 4 months of Chaturmas, that is rainy season. Chaturmas means rainy season. In Bombay we can say June, July, August, September, are coming very close by. The Sugriv will be the king and Lord Ram will perform tapasya. We went there. Today it is called Malyavanta Parvat and in Ramayan it is called Pravarshan Parvat. There the Ram's deity is in tapasya mode. He is sitting down. Not very common deity of Lord Ram. Lord Ram, in a big group, they might not give such darshan, but if you go at the right times, you get such darshan. Lord Ram is sitting down with bead bag, not bead bag, bead in his hand, jap mala. And he's holding jap mala like this, and jap mala is there. And Lord Ram's hairs are in like jata. So we can get that darshan in that place, the temple, Raghunath temple in Malyavanta. So Lord Ram and Lakshmana are performing tapasya, japa for 4 months. And after 4 months, it was decided Sugriv will come and help. But Chaturmas was over, rain subsided, clouds went away. All the birds and animals came out of their homes and they are chirping around. Few days had already passed. And then Ram was thinking, why has Sugriv not come yet? Has he forgotten that it's his duty? Lord Ram speaks little strong words. He says, Lord Ram says, I had only one hope. With the help of Sugriv, we could have found Sita. But it seems that Sugriv has forgotten. After staying in forest for so many days, years actually, he has got his palace back and with his wife Ruma and Tara, and he has given away to worldly pleasures. He has forgotten his duty. He has forgotten that what he is in position now is because of us. He's busy enjoying with women and wine and like that. He has forgotten that it is our mercy that he has got this position. He says he has forgotten I killed Vali with one arrow. Lakshman, is it that Sugriv wants that I do the same thing to him what I did with Vali? He's speaking like, shall I kill Sugriv also? Is the Lord Ram tells Lakshman, go and tell Sugriv the same destination is awaiting him, which Vali has already gone. Does he want me to shoot the arrow in a similar way? Lord Ram tells Lakshman, go and warn Sugriv. And seeing the anger of Lord Ram here, Lakshman becomes more angry. He says, what's the use of advising such an ungrateful man? I'll go and kill him and put Angad on the throne, and with the help of Angad we'll search for Sita. Then seeing Lakshman's anger, Lord Ram becomes peaceful now. Both have sometimes help each other. So Lord Ram says, no. First try to take up some more peaceful means. If that doesn't work, then we'll go for the violent means. So Lakshman likes this seva. He goes and as he's walking in powerful steps to Kishkinda, as he's approaching see, Lord Ram had taken, he was forced as Vanvas. In this, he has taken the vows of Vanvas. Lakshmana and Sita were with him, but they are not taken the vows. They are just accompanying him. So Ram never entered the city. Even when he killed Ravan, he never went inside Lanka. Even when he killed Vali, he never went inside Kishkinda. So Lakshman went, and as he was approaching the Kishkinda city, he twanged his bow, like they show in Ramayan serial, or they call in Tankar, what they call, something like that. Dhanushyavan, they twanged his bow, and it was a big sound, which you cannot imagine. And half the monkey warriors, they are afraid and they ran away. And half of them who were a bit powerful, they took up their weapons and were in attacking positions, thinking somebody is attacking Kishkinda. And here actually Sugriva was enjoying with his queens and dasis and wine and everything. He was in a semi-conscious state sometimes. He was so much enjoying, always drunk and enjoying, enjoying with his wives and like that. So here, and seeing all the monkey warriors with upraised weapons and ready to attack, Lakshman becomes more angry. And he is like ready to fight. At that time, Angad, he comes running, and he just catches feet of Lakshman. So Angad is little smaller, younger in age, quite younger in age than, he is the son of Sugriv, not Sugriv, Vali, younger in age than Ram Lakshman, and he is falling his feet. So that pacifies Lakshman a bit. Lakshman says, Angad, go and tell Sugriv that I have come here to meet him. So he is standing there, waiting for the message to come back. All the Vanaras have kept down their weapons. Angad jumps, goes to Sugriv. Actually, before that, what has happened? After the 4 months, Hanuman is a dutiful minister, has reminded Sugriv that this is happening, your time is come to go and help Shri Ram. Sugriv was so busy, happy, he says, okay, tell all my messengers, 10,000 messengers were sent from Kishkinda, to go all over the earth and call all the Vanaras over here. And he again starts enjoying, he forgets. So Angad goes to Sugriv, who is semi-sleeping. He says, oh, Lakshmana has come out of, he is just on the gates of Kishkinda and ready to destroy the city. Then Sugriv wakes up. He says, Bhaiyo, made him waiting at the gate, bring him in and give him a properly respectful position to sit. And when Lakshmana comes into the palace of Sugriv, first he sees the opulent city, and when he enters the palace of Sugriv, he enjoys music and all the aromas of enjoyment. He becomes more angry. Again he, and Sugriv is not afraid. He says, he doesn't do anything, just twangs his bow, and that is enough. So Sugriv tells Tara, you first go, because if I go, whom his anger is directed to me, he will become more angry seeing me. And you are a woman, and seeing you, he will be pacified. You go and speak some sweet words. So Tara comes and he says, oh Lakshman, why are you angry? Just let me catch up with my notes. Why are you angry? Anyway, this Sugriv is a Vanar. Big saints sometimes give way to sense pleasures. And Sugriv is not, you should not be angry at him. First of all, just by looking at Tara, Lakshman sits down. Seeing a lady, he sits down and he says, go and tell Sugriv that I have come here. His all anger is gone away. And then Tara also speaks some sweet words. He says, Sugriv has given way to mundane pleasures is not something astonishing or abnormal. Big saints also sometimes fail on this sense pleasures. Actually, before that, Lakshman gives a very important message to Sugriv, which is for us. He says, Lakshman tells Sugriv, ingratitude is the worst of all sins. Sugriv was in one way ungrateful. He says, ingratitude is the worst of all sins. And despite if someone has helped you, when, like we help someone because we need it sometimes, like in colleges or in business, we help someone and someone helps us. But when someone helps us, when he has no need for to do it, that is actually help. So he says, when someone has helped you, when it was not required to, and if you become ungrateful, then that is the worst sins. He says, ingratitude is the worst of sins. And then Sugriv says, I am not ungrateful. See, all the warriors have already come over there, crores of them. And another thing which we learn from this incident is that a serious devotee should not take Maya lightly. Even if a serious devotee is put in tempting situations, he may fall prey to the situation. Therefore, Krishna says, Api chet sudaracharo Even if sometimes a serious devotee in a situation, if he's there in the situation, might do a wrong thing. So we should not test Maya. Oh, I am very strong. Let me check. Am I strong? No. There is one simple story in case of Jesus. He was giving lecture, and one Satan or Satan or what it may be, or we can say demon, he came and took Jesus on the top of a mountain. He says, if you fall from this mountain, will your God protect you? Jesus says, yes. So this Rakshas or demonic person or atheist, he told you, jump then. Jesus said, no. If you throw me, then God will protect me. But I won't jump and say God to serve me. So that is what we should not check with Maya. Oh, is Maya strong enough? Then Maya will make us clean bold. We should not take Maya. Actually, Srila Prabhupada said, my one problem with my disciples is they are not afraid enough of Maya. They are not afraid enough of Maya. So that is a problem. We should not take, oh, I can manage this Maya. No. The Sugriva's case we can learn. Even Sugriva was a serious devotee, but he also fell to the tempting situation. So it happens. So we should be away from tempting situations. Because a serious devotee, it is a devotee never challenges Maya. In fact, Srila Prabhupada was once praying in front of deities very earnestly. And some devotees, disciples asked him, what was you praying, Srila Prabhupada? Prabhupada said, I was praying to Supreme Lord that please protect me from Maya. Maya is the energy that makes us forget Krishna. So, like that. So, now we'll come to a very testing situation from Lakshman. This is Sita Haran. We know Sita Haran story. So, Ravan came and he arranged this. What was the demon who became that golden deer? Marich. So, Marich became, we know all the previous story that how Ravan went to Marich and threatened. So, Marich became the golden deer, and then golden deer was dancing, and Sita told, I want that deer. And Ram told, no, actually, what do you call it? It's not a real deer, it's only, what do you call it, illusory deer. Actually, whole Ramayan is like, actually there's a 3 hut. Bal hut. Hut means demand. I don't know what exactly word in English. Hut. In Hindi is hut. It's a Bal hut, Stri hut and Raj hut. So one lecture, I don't know, I heard from someone. He says, there are three ladies doing hut. One was Kaikai. So Ram came in. Another was Sita for the deer. And another was Shurpanakha. That is whole Ramayan. 3 ladies doing their hut. But here Sita was saying that please I want, and then Lord Ram has to oblige. So he went, and we all know the story. Then Marich took him far off, and then Lord Ram killed him. And then he shouted in the voice of Lord Ram that, oh Lakshman, oh Sita, hey Lakshman, hey Sita, help me, like that. Before dying, Marich shouted in that voice. And here Lakshman was kept behind to protect Mother Sita. So when Sita heard, Lakshman heard, he knew nothing is going to happen to Ram. It's illusory tricks of Mayavi Danavas over here. Some that Marich was there and like that. But Sita heard out of her love for Sri Ram. She could not. He said, oh Lakshman, did you hear anything? So Lakshman has heard. And then what are you doing here? Go and help. Your brother is in trouble. And you are just standing here peacefully. Go and help him immediately. Lakshman said, my dear mother, nothing is going to happen to Sri Ram. Don't worry. No one can even, Hindi we call it, Bal Baka nahi kar sakta. No one can even trouble one hair of Sri Ram. Don't worry. He has killed Marich, and it's illusory tricks of Marich who has shouted in the same voice, and no, within short time Ram will come back. But Sita, she put that painful words. They real. She said, oh Lakshman, now I understand your purpose of coming to forest. You are here just waiting for the opportunity to Ram to get killed, and so that you can enjoy me. Just see, like Lakshman's sincerity was to the peak, climax, zenith. What was his sincerity? 14 years without sleeping, we heard one way. What was his one sincerity? 14 years without sleeping, he was serving Ram and Sita. And what was another type of his sincerity? he had never looked about the lotus feet of Sita, because that happens when while flying, when Ravana was kidnapping Sita, she had thrown off some of her jewelry, and Sugriva had kept them in the cave. And when Ram went, Sugriva brought all the jewelry in front of Ram, and Ram said, "Oh Lakshman, do you see? These are the armlets, and these are the what it may be, pious and like that." At that time, Lakshman says this verse. Maybe I may not remember, but he says the full this verse, famous verse. Nayam janami keure, like nupure eva aham janami. He says, I can't recognize Sita's armlets. I can't recognize Sita's waist jewels, or anything, or necklace. I can only recognize her payal, because I never looked up above them. Nupure eva aham janami. Nupur means payal. I'm not exactly knowing what is the names, but I know only Nupur of Mother Sita. That was his sincerity, his service. So in spite of doing such a service and such a principled man as Lakshman, who never saw even above the lotus feet of Sita, he is accused of having that or keeping that desire in the mind of enjoying Mother Sita. That's like a great pain. And when these strong words were spoken by Mother Sita, Lakshman said, "Oh my dear mother, I never had such, it's impossible for me to harbor such desires in my mind. But because you are saying, I will go." But he then makes whatever Lakshman Rekha and he goes away. And he's walking from where Ram went. And as he's coming, he's running towards Ram. And Ram is running back to he's also having some inhibitions or some intuitiveness that something wrong is happening. So Ram is running back, and they both meet in the forest. And Ram sees Lakshman. "Hey Lakshman, what are you doing here? You are told to stay with the kuti to protect Sita." And then Lakshman tells what happened. And he says, then Ram chastises him. He says, "Women are known to give away to sentimental behavior. But why you acted sentimentally?" So Ram chastises Lakshman. So see, this happens sometimes in our life. Lakshman had given his life, his service for Ram and Sita. And those very two, not the whole world. Whole world is, but those two very personalities are misunderstanding Lakshman and chastising him. Not only chastising him to the highest degree. What was the degree of Sita's chastisement? We can't imagine. And Lakshman is also telling, "You are behaving in such a wrong way," and like that. Who will be responsible? I feel something wrong has happened to Sita. So, if something like that happens to us, those very persons whom we are serving for whole life, they misunderstand us and they say, "What you are doing like this is nonsense," and something like that. It might happen even if we are doing service. Sometimes one who is our service in charge or who is in charge of a department, even in devotee society, it can happen that way. And we are actually sincerely serving someone, and then authorities chastise us for mistakes which we might have or we might not have, either way done. Here Lakshman is chastised. What type of heavy chastisement? By Mother Sita and Ram. So not that Lakshman says, "Enough is enough, no, I resign. Lakshman and Sita and Ram, you take care of yourself, I am going back. बहुत हो गया, कितना सहन करने का तो लिमिट है कुछ." We have some small things and we have complaints. "Oh, how much I can tolerate? There is some limit to it." We say that rubber band breaks when we start giving examples. We justify our intolerance. What is the best example? We say even rubber band breaks after when we stretch it. So what limit Lakshman was stretched? It's beyond limits. But he not whole world is treating him wrongly. But these two personalities whom he has dedicated his life to, he is treating. He never resigned. So actually, in this material world, what happens? First, our ego itself doesn't allow us to serve anyone. Ego doesn't. And then when we serve someone, and that very personality chastises us, it's very difficult. पहले तो बोलता अपना अहंकार वापस मारता है, अरे क्या गया बाहर में, इतना सेवा किया फिर भी ऐसे कर रहे हैं, so many things. So when we are behaving out of ego. Ego, who likes to soar? Servant of servant of servant. Very difficult. We speak like that, but very difficult to behave like that. So therefore, that's a challenge in devotional service. We feel all the devotees are misunderstanding me. But many times, we are misunderstanding devotees. Most of the times, maximum times. So just like I said, most of the times we are not being wrongly treated by the world, but we feel that way, that the world is treating me wrongly. And we feel, oh, this devotee is misunderstanding me, this devotee is misunderstanding me. Enough of bhakti. I will never come to the temple. Or enough of devotees. Actually, this world is miserable. But with devotees it is somewhat miserable. And without devotees it is more miserable. So we should not resign. Sometimes it may happen. Oh, I was first in the queue, but I did not get gulab jam. Gulab jams came to the counter after I passed away. Something like that. Why? Who is responsible for such lax service attitude? कौन काउंटर पे लेट गुलाब जामुन लेके आया? Who is that responsible person? I was wronged in that way. So sometimes things may happen and we get agitated. Or some things, in yatra we get a bit wrong bus, or our bus is appearing very nice, so we go and sit in, but it is very horrible in traveling. It is just appearing very nicely. Sometimes, who is this nonsense? This is such a wonderful bus from outside, but while traveling it so many jerks, and our seat has some nail within, and so many things. So we feel whole yatra is against me. I have got such a worse seat. In spite, I have paid the fee and whatever it may be. But we should understand, we should learn something from Lakshman's behavior. And that how to, I know it's easy to sit here and speak, difficult to follow, but still at least we can hear, and someday things will register. We get some prasadam, we don't get some prasadam, some things like that. That's the most difficult part, managing prasadam equally. And actually, the worst part is we don't enjoy what is in our plate. While eating prasadam, we are just looking here, what is in his plate, what is in his plate, what is in her plate, why that prasadam, what that puri wala is going only in that line. And worst of all, when he comes to our line, his puri gets over at that spot. And then we are completely agitated. And we feel the whole world is unfair with me. I am not getting puris or what it may be. So Lakshman teaches us, don't resign. Continue. Don't resign from devotional service. Otherwise we will say we resign and we go away. So please continue. Therefore, we see many such incidents happen. There are some more pastimes, but then we should focus on the pastimes on today's theme. Okay, this one important theme is Maya generally enters through eyes. We'll go on this theme and again come back, and then we'll end. So what happens, the whole scene of this Ramayan story which we are discussing now is Indrajit fighting. Many other warriors are killed, and now Indrajit has come. So Indrajit was very famous and expert in like Mayavi fights. He could fight with some tricks. So he came out in the war field. Ram, Lakshman and many Vanaras are there, and he became invisible. And he was shooting here and there, and where was Indrajit? No one could see. And he killed many people. And ultimately he threw Nagpash at Ram and Lakshman. And Ram, Lakshman respected the weapon, and they were tied by the Nagpash, and they fell down. And Indrajit came back to the kingdom, Lanka, and said, "Oh, Ram and Lakshman are dead, war is over." And the party began. And here Vanaras, they don't know what is to be done. And Nagas are increasing their venom and like that. And then suddenly Ram is Vishnu. Garudji came. And when Garudji came, all the Nagas went away. And Ram, Lakshman were awake, and again, Jai Shri Ram, and war began. And then they are having a party, and they said, so Ravan was disturbed. He was already enjoying. He said, what happened? Oh, Ram and Lakshman, they were not killed. They are alive again. Again Indrajit came. And this time in the war, he threw Brahmastra. He tried Brahmastra. And Brahmastra is the most powerful one. Ram and Lakshman again, bowing to the weapon, respecting the weapon. He said the weapon has to be respected. So they respected the weapon and they themselves became unconscious. And Indrajit thought, no one can escape. Brahmastra is the ultimate weapon. And therefore, he came back to the palace and he told, Ram Lakshman killed. And again the party began. And here all the Vanaras, and it was told that Hanuman should go to Himalayas and get the Sanjeevani and all these things. And they came back and it was administered to the Ram Lakshman, all the other monkeys, and all became alive. It took a little more time. So this time the party also went little longer. And everyone was thorough into the party. The party was not just beginning. They were thorough in their drinks and everything and enjoying. And again, Jai Shri Ram, and the attack began. Attack was so severe, all the Vanaras came. They break down the protective wall and something like that. Again, what happened? What is this? News is coming, Ram is dead and again he is becoming alive. So Indrajit came out. And this third time, he did some another trick. He came out and Hanuman was fighting. This time Hanuman went to face Indrajit. Actually Lakshmana was also there. And then Indrajit they were going to attack and they saw, hey, someone is on the chariot of Indrajit. Who is there? A woman. What's happening? And they saw it closely. Indrajit has created an illusory Sita. Illusory Sita. He has created an illusion. Sita was there in Ashok Vatika, but he has created as if the Sita was on the chariot of Indrajit. And he told, see Hanuman, Lakshman, for whom you are fighting, that Sita is here and now I will kill her in front of you. You want Sita back to be rescued, I will kill her. And they took her Sita and just with a sword killed. And seeing this, Hanuman went to Ram and Lakshman and gave the news, oh, Indrajit has killed Sita. And Hanuman actually, all this way, and again Ram, Lakshman were crying, they were like unconscious, hearing the news that how Sita has killed and like that. And all the monkeys, and Hanuman told, what's the use of fighting? Stop fighting, because Sita is killed. And Vibhishan told Rakshasa, stop fighting, go back. So war stopped. And Vibhishan came out. Vibhishan, we heard, he has like switched and came to Ram's side. He said, he inquired what has happened. And then he told Sita, he said, that's an impossible thing. Ravana's lust for Sita is so much that he will never allow her to be killed. Vibhishan says, chances of Sita being killed is like chances of ocean becoming dry. Because he says Ravana's lust is like an ocean. He will never allow Sita to be killed because he wants to enjoy her. He understands, he knew, he was an insider man of Lanka. He knew that this time Indrajit has done this illusion because Brahmaji has given one blessing that if he performs some yajna and he goes to fight after that yajna, his enemy will be killed and he will win. So now he has done this illusion to keep you in illusion so that he can go and peacefully complete his yajna. And then if he performs his yajna, his enemy cannot win. So this is a time, Ram, send Lakshman and all the great warriors with me. We will go to the Nikumbha Nila, that is the place where he was performing yajna. And we have to disturb Indrajit and make him get up from yajna. And it is said if he gets up from the yajna halfway through, he will be killed. He will be losing. So this is no time to lament. Sita cannot be killed. It's an impossible thing. Ravan can never allow that. His lust for Sita will not allow that to happen. And just start for the war. And then Lakshman went with Vibhishan. And then actually it was a sudden attack. Because Vibhishan was not Vibhishan. Indrajit was doing that yajna. And many Rakshasas were protecting. And it was inside Lanka. But on another corner, far off corner. So they never thought that Vanaras will, first of all they will know this is happening. And they will come. But the Vanaras attacked in a very powerful way. And then just Rakshasa started shouting, Indrajit, Indrajit, Indrajit. And he could not finish his yajna. And somehow that because of the situation, he has to come up halfway through the yajna. And then war was very fierce. 3 days, it is described in Ramayan, 3 days non-stop Indrajit and Lakshman fought. And then Indrajit was killed. But what we learn, actually, when what we see through ears, not see through eyes, we should never believe. Especially when we stay among devotees. When we are staying with devotees, especially even in the world. Here we see the Maya, the illusion entered through eyes. Sita was killed. But the truth entered through the ears, from the speech of Vibhishan. So in our life, sometimes it happens. We say, this is what I am discussing is a point for close, like devotees who are staying with devotees for quite some years. Sometimes misconceptions, some wrong feelings happen, and you say, no, Prabhu, I saw it. He did like that. And that creates the whole misunderstanding and so many wrong feelings within us. But whenever we have such misunderstanding, what we should do? We should not judge the situation based on what we see. We should judge this. We should first go to some senior devotee who has a full understanding and ask him, I saw something like that. What does it mean? What I should make out of it? And we should give more weightage to what we hear from devotees than what we see. Even Arjuna. When Arjuna saw the battlefield, he was in illusion. And when he heard the Bhagavad Gita, he was out of Nashta Moha Smutir Labdhva. And before Karpanya Dosho Upahata Sabhava. My mind is disturbed. So it is said, Maya generally, we see in this world also, Maya generally enters through ears. Our eyes are immediately attracted. Certainly, any advertisement, main is lights, this, all the Maya generally enters through, what do you call it? Eyes. Never believe what we see in this world of Maya. That is what is Maya. Maya means that which is not. To get the truth, listen from advanced, experienced devotees. So that we should be very careful, because even sometimes in devotee communities, we might see something and we might make some judgments, and that will create a havoc within our devotees and for us. Like we see Nityananda Prabhu, he was Avdhut, but he would live very opulently, necklaces, silk. If someone looks at him, then we cannot judge Nityananda Prabhu properly. So, certainly, Maya creates illusions. And these illusions discourage us. And when we are discouraged, Maya attacks us and we fall completely in Maya. So, Maya begins with illusions from the eyes. Oh, I saw him doing like that. Oh, I saw him speaking like that. Oh, I saw that devotee behaving that way. So, they are illusions, they are not reality. And then we get discouraged. And then actually then we fall into Maya. So, to prevent us, we have to hear from Guru. Guru or other senior devotees. Hear from Srila Prabhupada. So, like that. We will now discuss the character of Sita from today's theme. How to respond right when world treats us wrong, and maybe we will end after that. So, Mother Sita, she also had to undergo so many tests. We are in Sri Lanka again. What happened? The war is over. Ravan is killed. And Mother Sita is brought to Ram. Actually, I will discuss one point afterwards. I will come to another point before. Okay. She is brought to Sri Ram, and Ram says, "O Mother Sita, I fought to regain the respect of Raghukul, because by kidnapping you, Ravan had insulted Raghukul. And now as you have stayed in another person's home for more than 10 months, I can't accept you. You are free to go. You can go back to Lanka or marry Vibhishan or marry Lakshmi. Anything. You are free. You are independent to behave the way you want." That was a great, what do you call it, blow for Mother Sita. Great, very difficult situation. She says, "Oh Ram, if you wanted to disown me," she says, okay, she doesn't complain. She says, "If you wanted to disown me, you should have told me before why I remained alive for 10 months. If that was just because I was forcefully kidnapped by Ravan, you are going to disown me, you should have told me before." Okay, you may say, how should I tell you before? At least you should have sent a message with Hanuman who came, that after the war I am going to be disowned. I would have given up my life at that moment. Why this whole thing? Anyway, Ram is very he is not moved. He is like showing that he is unaffected. Then Sita says, if that is the reality, oh Lakshman, set up a fire prior. And I enter the fire. And at that time, एक minute, I'll just catch up with my notes. At that time, all Lakshman, he has to follow the order of Sita, and he makes up the wooden pyre, and then Sita, fire is lit, and Sita enters. All the Vanaras, they are crying. Lakshman is sad, and Ram he is not affected. Suddenly, we know Agni Pariksha was there, and Agni Dev came out. Actually, original Sita was also kept with Agni Dev. We know all these stories. But whether original or Maya Sita, the test was quite tough enough. And then they came back, and Lord Ram and Sita stayed together for 1 year. And then Sita was pregnant. And again, that washerman, he spoke those comments to his wife. And then when those comments came to Sri Ram, he decided. It is not that sometimes people ask, why did Lord Ram send Sita to forest again? He did not send Sita to forest in one way. Because what he told Lakshman, go and place Sita into the ashram of Vishwamitra Muni, who is just close. That ashram was just across the river. Like when Ram and Lakshman went to the forest with Sita, they were within all the fierce beasts and Rakshasas. No, Sita was just, see here we see Ram had 2 roles to play. We also sometimes have a role like a person doing job or business, as a husband, as a father, as a son, as a devotee, as a preacher, as a counselor, as some department, or any person doing some, as a role as a server, prasad server, something. We have many roles to play in our life. When all the roles are going parallel, the things are okay. But when the 2 roles demand contradictory demands, then the things are little difficult. So Lord Ram's role as a husband was to protect Sita. And Lord Ram's role as a king was to set the ideal behavior. What was ideal behavior in banishing Sita? Not banishing Sita, but making her stay away from Ayodhya. We don't understand the standard of idealness of the kings at that time. They should be completely perfect in their character. Kings should not have any attachments although they had lot of wealth and treasury and power and opulence and silver and gold, the king should not have any attachment to the world. That was the ideal king. And therefore they would take Vanprastha and Sanya, like they would go to Vanvas. All the kings we see, to set an example. Because if the king is attached, whole society will be attached. So king has to show, he has to set the highest example. So he had to, his role as a husband was to protect Sita. So he did not exactly put her in the forest in midst of Rakshasas and like that. He just told that keep her in Vishwamitra Muni's ashram. And so that was in his kingdom, just across the river. But at the same time, he says, that washerman said, just if Ram is given way to attachments, he is not sense controlled. And another principle, if a man is not sense controlled, he cannot be completely beneficial for the others, because he will think of some selfishness somewhere. So king had to set the example of completely self-controlled and selfless and not attached to mundane pleasures. He might be in the mundane pleasures, but not attached. As a role of a king, Ram had to set that example. So he told Sita told in the sense, arrange for Sita to move out, but he did not give up protecting Sita, seeing that she was properly placed in the ashram, in the protection of the Muni. So, in that way, many things happened. So, Sita, that was a difficult test. Again, she was, but how did Sita respond? When Lakshman went to drop Sita, at the ashram of Valmiki, she told Lakshman that tell Sri Ram whether "Oh Ram, you accept me or leave me apart. I am always yours." A very difficult situation and mood to have. But that is the mood of all the gopis. When Sri Krishna went to Vrindavan, hundreds of years of separation, they never gave up or even decreased their devotion by 1%. He says, Sita says to Ram, not Ram, to Lakshman, means message to Ram, but via Lakshman. She says, even if Ram gives me up, leaves me, tell him that I will never leave him. I will be always surrendered to him. And that is the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also in Sikshashtakam. Ashlishava padaratam pinashtumam adarshanam marmahatam karotu va. What does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says? Whether you embrace me or whether you trample me, whether you leave me broken hearted, yatha tatha, you behave with me anyway you are, O my Lord. Mama prana nathas. My Lord of your heart is only you. No para, no one else. So that is the mood of Sita, mood of gopis, and mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and mood of, should be the mood of, ideal mood of all the devotees who are practicing. So therefore we see Sita was treated apparently in such a wrong way. Lakshmana was and Shri Ram was, but they never gave up. So that is the glorious. It's quite some time, over time. We'll end, and maybe some other time we'll hear what our pastimes are remaining. Prabhu Shri Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman, Sita Maiya ki. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki.